Hello world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Robothought Zero to Hero series C and C++ programming in Arduino. Right guys, we are on lesson number 10 and I am going to talk about arithmetic operators in Arduino C++. Alright, so what are arithmetic operators? Guys, these are very important aspects of learning Arduino and C++, right? This is a very important piece, so pay attention to this because these lessons are going to help you to write a series of program to make your robot work. That is how it is going to be. All right guys, so basically the Arduino can do mathematics for us, right? That is how it is, right? It can do mathematics, and in this part of the lesson what I'm going to show you, we will look at how to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or even find a remainder. That is how it is. So say for example, let me switch over to my IDE and I can show you in real time how it works. So say let's talk about addition. So in order to add the numbers in Arduino, what you need to do, I'll just show you with a very simple example, and it might look little childish, which is fine. You got to learn the basics, right? So in setup, what you can do, say int a equals to no, maybe I'll just define some basic numbers for you to show so that you can understand how this works. I think this is fine. I think a equals to say 2 and end with semicolon, and say int b equals to 7 and a semicolon, and then say int you need to sum, okay, the sum, and then end with a semicolon. Now you can just, what you need to do, you need to call for sum equals to say a plus b. You need to give a space in between a, use the operator called plus, and then b, and then put a semicolon. Now you can print this using the serial dot begin and serial print line, and followed by that, right? So basically in addition, in this particular code there are three variables which are defined, right? So variable a and b are each assigned a value, right? A and b both has got 2 and 7 as a value, and the sum variable, there is another variable called sum. This is how we are defining it, as a sum, but it is not initialized, right? We haven't initialized it, so this contains a random number. So we will use this variable to store the result of the addition calculation. So the random value that the sum, the variable sum contains, will be overwritten when we put the additional result, right? So that is how it works. We can also add two constant values to this. For example, in sum, say we can say 2 plus 10, right, and semicolon. So this is how the two constant values are stored, and it will show as a result in your variable, right? Now say for example, if we say 3 int is equal to 3, int a is equal to 3, and int is equal to sum. So let's say I'll change this to 3, and int is, say I'll just remove this, and you are declaring sum. So what you need to do, we can say int a, you can say int a plus, you can add some value. So a plus 3, you can add say 10 or 20 or whatever you want. After execution of this particular addition, the sum will contain 20 plus 3, that is 23, and the remaining arithmetic operator I will show you in a minute. For example, subtraction, let's say minus. How do we do that? Say for example, let me delete this, and redo it for you. For example, int say you want to see a result, okay, result semicolon, okay. Now what you need to do, result equals to say 10 minus 2 10 minus 2 semicolon, right? But you can declare what is 10 and what is 2 in your initial value itself. The result of this calculation, obviously 10 minus 2, it has to be 8, right? So that is how the subtraction operator work. Similar way, how the multiplication works, right? So int result, say 10 into 3, okay, semicolon. That is how it is. So where is that into symbol in your keyboard? Some people might be confused. Where is that multiplication? So that is in your keyboard, it is 8, right? The numerical number 8 has got the into this hashtag, the star kind of mark. That is your multiplication. Okay, that is how it works. Now let's see what is a division. So for example, a division, how do you do that? Result equals to anything, say 12 forward slash, you need to use the forward slash divided by say 2 and then end with a semicolon, and that is how your result will show up. Now let me show you what is the difference between integer versus a floating point. Okay, so basically we have only been using the integer values to perform arithmetic operations, right? If the result of the division is not an integer or a whole number but contains a fraction part, the fraction part will be discarded if the result is stored in an integer variable. All right, that is how it works, that is how it is designed. So for example, let us take the same example, right? Int result, and then result is equal to 12 divided by 2. So the result will be whatever the calculation is, because the fraction is discarded when the result is stored in the integer variable result. Let's do some coding here. So let me combine all the operators and show you the result, how this works. So let's take some random example. Let me delete this. Let's say int a equals to 2, right, semicolon, and then int b equals to 7, semicolon, and then let's say another variable int result, semicolon. Obviously we are not assigning any value because we are going to print the result, right? And then let's assign float, say float result. What is a floating point result? Result underscore, say let's name it as underscore fl, just a naming convention, right? You can name anything what you want. Now let us say serial, oops, S should be in capital in your uppercase, remember that guys, it's very important. Serial dot begin, we are going to initiate the print at the rate of 9600 baud rate speed. Okay, now let's say serial dot print line, let's say serial dot print line. No, I don't think we need to print the line. Let's say serial print addition. So in the code you need to use a double quote for addition, 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 and then again open a bracket, say A plus B, like this, A plus B, close the bracket, and you need to use a colon, not a semicolon but a colon. Shift enter the semicolon button, okay, the key on your keyboard. And then you close the bracket, the double quote, put a double quote to close it, and then again you close the bracket, and now you hit a semicolon to end the line. Now let us say result. Now result equals to, say A plus B. Let me put a space here. Result equals to A plus B, okay, like this, and a semicolon. Now let us print the line. serial dot print ln, serial dot print line, and let's print what? We need to print the result, okay, like this with a semicolon. All right, let me just scroll it up. And now what we can do, let's come back to another operator. Okay, now we added addition. Now let's say subtraction. Let's give a space here in between. Say serial dot print, and now in a double quote subtract, subtraction. This is just to print and show you how it is. Okay, and then in a bracket again, say 10 minus 2, just an example, random example. Okay, then put a colon, shift colon button, and then double quote close and then you need to close the bracket and end the line with a semicolon. Do not forget that. Now let us print the line, right? Say result. What is the result? Result equals to 10 minus 2. This is what your result is going to print, ending with semicolon. Now let's say serial print. Serial dot print ln stands for line. What you need to print? Result and as semicolon. All right, now let's add say multiplication. Okay, let me leave a space for multiplication. Say serial dot print, and then use a double quote multiplication. What you want to multiply, open a bracket again, say 4 into, say 3 into 2, something like that. Okay, 3 into 2. I don't think we need to give a space. 3 into 2. Okay, close the bracket and then put a colon, not a semicolon, but you need to put a colon, and then you close the quote, double quote and the bracket, and now you can actually put a semicolon to end the line. All right, now what we need to do, we need to calculate the result. Result equals to 3 into, what was that? 2. 3 multiplied by 2, that is your result, with a semicolon. And now let us say serial dot print ln. Print ln, and what you want to print? You want to print the result. Okay, result, and with a semicolon. Now let's just compile and see what happens. We can keep adding this, guys. You can add division. I showed you the multiplication, right? You can add a division to this. You can add next line. You can add a floating division. You can add a remainder, a modulus. All those operators are there. So it's pretty interesting, right? You can add multiple operators and try to send an output to the terminal. So let's see how this works. I hope there are no syntax errors. Let me compile. So you need to click that tick mark to compile it. Done compiling. That means it looks good. Now let me upload the program. The LED in your Arduino Mega should blink. Yes, it's blinking. Let me open the terminal. All right, there you go. Let me share the terminal with you guys. There you go. Can you see that, guys? Addition A plus B, 9, the output, and the subtraction 10 minus 2, 8, and the multiplication of 3 into 2 is 6, and obviously that's how it will work like a calculator, because that is a print command you are giving line by line. So that is how this works. So if you look at, I hope you understood this code what I just wrote in front of you, It's pretty straightforward and simple, guys. There is nothing to get confused. So go through this topic again. This is how your the arithmetic operators work in Arduino. There are multiple other operators which I am going to show you, but the basic operators are obviously it's addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, right? So these are very often you will be using in your sketch, in your Arduino IDE sketch in C programming, C++ programming. Okay, it's very important, guys. So make sure that you follow this and do give me a thumbs up and a like. I am going to be back soon in the next lesson. Until then, goodbye.